Welcome to School of Miracles. I'm Heather Scavetta, and today I wanted to talk about pets, or how some people like to call them companion animals. Animals are very important to me, and I do communicate with animals that are living and animals that have crossed over to the other side, for they are beings, and we have relationships with them. And I want to talk about companion animals today as opposed to spirit animal guides, which can have a different purpose and a different way to connect. I wanted to talk about pets today. If you have companion animals, you usually come to a point where perhaps they become sick, or they die and cross over, and we desperately care and love them and miss them. And we want to continue the communication with them even after they transition. Now, I communicate with my animals who are still here and animals on the other side. And usually when animals connect to me who are living, they have something to tell me. And animals are such a pleasure to communicate with because they're very straightforward. You don't have to read between the lines. They usually like something or they don't. They usually like a certain person or they don't. And they have definite opinions about what they like and dislike. So we can find out more about them by communicating with them, but also we can understand that this relationship that we have with them is really built on trust, sometimes need. And it's easier to communicate with an animal that you have a relationship with already. If you want to communicate with an animal that you don't have a relationship with, then you have to instill some kind of rapport, whether you spend time with them, however that animal responds to you being with them. If it's a strange animal, like maybe a friend's animal, you still need to spend some time to show them that you care about them, that your energy is calm, that you're willing to listen, and build some type of a rapport there. This is what I've found in my own communication. And so I think it can be natural to feel closer to some of our pets than others. Or perhaps we just have different relationships with them. Because I do believe that animals come into our life for many different reasons. Yes, sometimes for companionship, but sometimes for other things as well. And so we will have different relationships with our animals. So I have cats, dogs, horses. I have had a rabbit. What else have I had? An assortment of pets when I was younger. But mostly I communicate with cats, dogs, and horses. I did see my dwarf bunny, who I had for a very long time, and I haven't seen him in probably 20 years since he's crossed. And he did come to visit, and I got to see him the other day. So that was really nice. And oftentimes my daughter on the other side will come with one of the animals, because when we're dealing with pets or companions, they're used to having people with them and people taking care of them. It's different than wild animals. So the other side is similar to here. They do have people who take care of them on the other side. my dog who came for a visit from the other side told me that when she comes to visit, it's because the instructor lets her come. And I thought that was an unusual way to describe somebody on the other side. We usually, might call them masters or something like that, but she used the word instructor. So there definitely is a purpose to when our animals on the other side come to visit and when they don't. And oftentimes it would be with a person, either bringing them or allowing them or however it works. So a lot of the pets that I've had, my daughter takes care of them on the other side until they incarnate again. And not each animal will incarnate again into my family. I've been shown how some of my animals have been adopted by other families, and they're serving out their purpose in a different way with a different family. But sometimes we do get repeat animals coming back, and that's always really special. So I have had a dog that has returned, different breed, same dog. So, and now that dog is on to a new family. She showed us that. So I wanted to talk about when your pet is not feeling well, because that's what's happening in my family right now. We have a senior kitty who is on her way to transition soon. And I have a young dog who has something going on with her. And I'm taking her to the vet and we're trying to sort it out. But sometimes we don't know when our animals don't feel well or there's an issue. And if we've already built a relationship with them or a rapport, I hope that they will come to us and tell us these things. What I've learned from my interactions with pets is how they show me these things. So I may be just sitting quietly with my eyes closed, or maybe I'm meditating, but I'm being still and quiet anyways, and I'll start to see their face in front of me. And they will either tell me something, show me something, or make me feel something, usually. Sometimes I hear things as well, depending on what the problem is and how best they can get that information to me. Sometimes it's funny things, but sometimes it's more serious things. We want information. We want the solution to the illness. We want answers to our questions. Unfortunately, that's not typically what comes through. I'm not saying it can't, but typically they just come through to tell us there's an issue. And then it's up to us who and what we do about it. So how they show me, if I see a visual, so we have a senior kitty who is not well and will probably transition soon. And I saw her the other day and she was looking at me and kind of rolling over onto her back. And I saw a blue tear come out of her eye. Now, pale blue to me, that color means in need of healing. So the fact that the tear is blue, she's telling me she's in need of healing, which means there's something going on. This is how the animals show me, is I see a blue tear with them. So I know she's not well, but she also came to me, and I did visit her the other day because she doesn't live here. She lives with my daughter. And so I guess she was thinking of me because I had dropped by and said hi to her. And so she came to me and told me. Because what else can they really do, right? So we're doing the best we can for her. But I just think it's such a privilege to receive communication from them. So I'm happy she trusts me and came to me. So part of the communication with them on the other side is to provide an opportunity where they can connect with us, which is time in meditation or to just pay attention when we are being still and quiet. Yes, it can come in feelings as well. I can feel their pain if there's something specific about them. They can show me. So I had a horse come to me with a blue tear, and so I talked to him. And I said, "What's going on?" And he showed me he had left front foot pain. I could feel it. And so that helped me work with the farrier or work with the equine vet to try to remedy his problem. Sometimes we already know there's a problem, but they're just, telling us. And other times they tell us things that we don't know. Sometimes they're funny things. So I had a horse who I put a blanket on because he was allergic to bugs. And he's so sweet, but he let me put the blanket on. First time he had a blanket on. And he was being patient with me. But that night he came to me and I saw him looking at me. And he rolled his eyes at me. And I kind of laughed because he's saying to me, "You're really going to make me wear this blanket." Because to him, he's the top of his herd. And the other horses were kind of probably making a little bit of fun with him or like treating him differently. And he didn't think that he looked, let's say, in charge with this coat on. And I told him, I said, "Unfortunately, it's good for you that you wear the coat, but I understand how you're feeling." But again, because we have the relationship, he came and told me. One time I saw him standing in the field. So I was meditating and I got the image of him standing in a field, and he smiled at me and showed me all his teeth. And I knew there was something going on with his teeth. So I asked him, "What's going on with your teeth?" And he gave me pain in the bottom left jaw. And so the vet was coming the next day anyways, and I told her that he had tooth pain on the bottom there. And she looked and she said, "Yes, he has a cracked tooth." So without him telling me, we probably would have missed it and not known that he had this condition. So from here on in, I made sure I didn't give him hard things like a big hard carrot to chew or something that was going to aggravate that tooth. So it really helped me understand and care for him better. Spirit always has a purpose of why they communicate with us, whether it's to bring us information, comfort, guidance, knowledge. Every time I communicate with my animals, I learn. I learn what it's like for them. I learn what's possible. And it just brings me so much comfort, even when there are conditions that I can't control. I know you're probably thinking, how do we know that the kitty is going to cross over soon? Well, we will receive information from the other side in a way that we can understand. And so how I might receive that information might be different than how you receive it, but this is typically through experience how they show me this. The first time I was shown my dog that was going to transition, her face in a circle, and all the other faces in the circle were animals who had already crossed over. And I looked at all the other animals and I'm like, yeah, they're on the other side, and now they're including her. And I knew she was going to transition soon. I laughed at that, not because she was going to die, because of course that's always traumatic, but I saw the betta fish that my daughter had when she was little, and that fish was included in the animals on the other side, and I thought that was really sweet. And so with this kitty, what they showed me was I was meditating one day and I started to see animals on the other side. So first I saw one of my dogs who passed quite a while ago. I saw her face. Then I saw another dog that had passed. And then I saw the kitty's face. And then I saw the kitty's brother who had passed probably, at least 5 years ago, if not more. I saw his face. And so once again, they are including the animal that's about to transition with all the other animals that have transitioned. And so that's how I know that she's going to pass soon. We cannot prolong their life here. I do believe that the time that a person or a pet is to transition is their time. But what we can do and what we try to do is to make their time, what is left here, good, as pain-free. And it also gives us an opportunity to spend more time with them, knowing that our time is limited, and to really treasure those last days, weeks, months, whatever it is, with them. If you don't receive communication from your pet about what's going on with them, don't be concerned about it. Sometimes they don't tell us because there's really nothing we can do about it. So I know we all want to be in the loop and we want all this type of information, but sometimes it's not beneficial for whatever reason they deem. So whether it's for the pet's benefit, our benefit, whatever. So don't take it personally if this doesn't happen. What you can do is provide opportunities for it to happen. So you can first build a relationship with them, right? And then if you want to communicate with them in that way, you can call on them in a meditation, ask them to come and spend some time with you that way, especially if they're on the other side. I hope this has given you some ideas, some possibilities, maybe some new tools from your toolbox. Maybe you'll look out for a blue tear now and actually know what they're trying to tell you. But at any rate, what a beautiful miracle it is that we are able to sustain communication even after our loved ones have transitioned. I wish you beautiful things and enjoy your loved ones while they're here.